Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today on Running Point.
Yeah, no problem, Anthony. Thanks for having me.
Man, it was a long time coming. We've had to get you on. We've been wanting to get you on for a while. This Springfield Tigers team is just running so well so far this season. We talked to you in the back and before the beginning of the season about expectations and kind of what you saw out of this program and what you were expecting from this season. Now that we're past the halfway point, you guys are really strong in leading the MVAC Scarlet tier. How does where you are now compare to where you expected to be back when we talked to you preseason?
Yeah, I think we're right on schedule. It's been a really fun year. We've had some big wins. We've had some games really that, we're close, that are good non-conference, wins and losses for us to keep us focused. Like, as you said, we're undefeated in the league. So that's really, goal number one this year was to win the league. Going to Western Reserve and getting a win, going to Waterloo and getting a win. Really, I think that Waterloo game was probably as good as we've played all year. So to be able to do those things and, give us a leg up here as we head into the second half, like I said, we're right where we want to be.
I'm not going to sit here and ask you to recap the whole season. We'd be here forever if we talked about every game that you guys have played. But I do want to rewind back to that Waterloo game because that was the team that had your number last year, and I'm sure it meant a lot to this program to go down there and get a win. From your perspective, what was the big difference between this year and last year with both teams returning a ton of the players that played in last year's matchup?
I would say just the scoring across the board really this year is what allowed us to separate from them a little bit. Last year we really relied on JC to do a lot of the scoring. Maddie a little bit. That game up there, Anna had 13. Jamaica had 11. So to put that now with Jay, who had 12, Maddie scored, Ava hit a couple big shots. To be able to have that balance where, you really can't key on one girl, I think is the big difference, not only in that game, but all year.
When I was watching that game, one of the things that really stood out to me that is a little bit different from this year's team, the physicality that you guys brought into the paint and the way that you were able to dominate inside against the Waterloo and really against every team you play. How much has that been a really staple for you guys this year to try to be a lot more physical than maybe you were last year?
Yeah, well, we have the kids for it. We have the big bodies. We have the kids that we can, offensively play through the post, defensively try to funnel. We can get out and pressure because we have the size inside, try to funnel the ball handlers into our help, into our bigger kids under the basket, try to get blocks, try to get turnovers. So, I think, every year you take a look at your personnel and you try to figure out how you want to play. So this year that was kind of, I feel like, the style that fit us best. And we work on it every day. The post passing, post to post stuff, feed post. And it's, I think you look at Jamaica, like from day one till now, she's just incredible, for being a sophomore. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves that she's just a sophomore.
Yeah, I want to ask a little bit more about Jamaica because we see a really good development in her from last year to this year. What do you think have been some of the keys in her game that has made such a difference freshman year to sophomore year in her success?
Mm-hmm. Just having the mindset, just to play. Last year she would I feel like mistakes bother her really a lot. And so now this year it's just, you make a mistake, you miss a shot. It doesn't matter. You just got to keep playing. I don't know, last week, maybe a couple weeks ago, she missed a couple shots in practice and she was, I can't make anything, I'm not any good. And it's like, Jamaica, go home and look at the report. You have the highest shooting percentage on the team. So it's, everybody misses shots. Just having that mindset that, when she's going good, man, we're very tough to stop.
All right, tonight is senior night, of course, for Springfield, and you have four good ones, and I'm sure you're going to be sad when it's the last time you get to pin their name in a lineup. What makes this senior class so important, and what makes them such good leaders for your program?
Well, they've been together since elementary school. When I was on the boys' side, and we're helping run the elementary tournament that they had at Springfield, and it was Coach Mullen, who's with us now, was coaching those teams. Maddie's dad was helping out with those teams. And so they were always, together. They were always having success early. And I feel like they've been able to stick together and now really step up and kind of lead this program into, a district title last year. Hopefully if we accomplish our goals, same thing this year, maybe a league title, to have some success. And now we have a good group of sophomores, a group of freshmen that's getting better who, can follow in their footsteps and really put, some good years together.
When we hear about, sustained programs that have been good for years, one of the things that we always hear is the seniors that leave an impact on the program after they leave. Do you see this senior class doing that this year, where you're confident that after they graduate, that kind of the standards they set and the legacy they leave on this program will last after they graduate?
Definitely. Just the work ethic, it's all the time where I'll be telling, one of our younger kids, hey, watch JC in this game, watch how she rebounds, watch how she does this or that, or, watch Maddie, watch how she shoots and handles the ball. And just to have those people in the program where you can say, hey, just go, go copy that, go do that, is, spectacular. And then, we had our two seniors from last year come to the game on Saturday. So it's the same thing. They came, they were there. It was fun to see them, and we still talk about them. So it's something where, every year is going to build on each other. And we've been lucky to have, good leadership with our seniors.
I want to kind of single all of them out and have you talk about all four of them and kind of give them like a little bit of hurrah like they're going to get tonight. Let's start with JC, since we're going to hear from her after your interview. We have a player profile to play after your interview. So JC's obviously one of the premier players in the area with how much she's able to score and succeed. But what have you seen from her as a leader and especially as a vocal leader this year? I feel like when I watch your games, she's a little bit more confident in her ability to speak this year than maybe in the past.
Yeah, definitely. And that's something that we've asked her to do. The kids look to her, they look to Maddie, they look to the other seniors to kind of lead them, when, things get tough, when, maybe the other team's going on a run. It's up to the seniors to pull us out of it. And it's, just her work ethic really sets her apart from anybody that we see. She just never stops moving. She never stops trying to rebound. She never stops going at the basket. And she just, is relentless. And it's very, very tough to stop.
From an X's and O's standpoint, how blessed are you to have someone that can do the things that she can do on the basketball court?
Yeah, it's funny if we're trying to put something new in, or we're trying to come up with a new play or a new set, and we're talking just amongst the coaches, where do we put Jay? So we want her, we want her on the wing, we want her on the block, we want her, we want her in every spot if we could. So it just to have somebody that's versatile like that can step out and, she leads us in 3-point percentage. So she's, getting to the basket. She's offensive rebounding. We can throw it inside to her. We can have her step out, and, we're very confident in her shooting. So to have someone you can just kind of stick in anywhere is, very, like you said, very valuable.
All right, let's talk about Maddie, who I think this year has taken a role of just a straight up ball handler, really distributing the ball. I would imagine, I don't have the stats in front of me, I'd imagine that she kind of leads the team in that assist to turnover ratio, and she takes care of the ball every time I'm able to watch her play. What has she meant as a stabling force to your offense this year?
Right. We didn't, with our roster, we really didn't have a true point guard. Looking at last year's roster, maybe planning a little bit last year to go into this year. And so we're trying to figure out who, kind of a 2-year project, who we want to do it. And, we asked her to do it. She's kind of playing out of position, but she's really stepped up this year, to have, ask her to run the point. She's a little bigger, but just to be able to control the basketball much better this year than she has last year. I mean, there's games this year where we've been pressed the whole game. She just handles it. She put in the work this summer, to go from kind of where she was last year, trying to think of a couple of games where we were pressed and, we had to take her out because she wasn't, she couldn't be out there. And to the point now where, she's running the point for a team that's, first place in the league. And, it's just, a testament to her work ethic.
Kind of tall for a point guard, which is obviously a good thing. You don't see a lot of point guards that can have a height advantage over their defender too much in this area for this level of basketball. So that's going to be something that you're looking at down the road when you see teams in the tournament and you're thinking, how are they going to guard Maddie Lesnick as a point guard who is taller than most?
Right, exactly. Because we can, she can come in, she can step in too. So if it's something where, we feel like she has a mismatch inside. She still has all the post moves to where, we can step Jamaica out or JC out and then throw her down there. And like I said, when they're all playing well, it's really tough to guard all three.
All right, let's move on to Emily Gerthing, one of your seniors that is just an athlete. We see her, it seems like every sports season, making a name for herself. What does she bring to this team in this program?
I'll tell you, she's a tremendous teammate. She has probably the unenviable position of guarding JC every day in practice on the scout team. She's someone that's going to come in. She does her job. We just talked the other day. I feel bad. I feel like she'd probably start for a lot of the teams in our league, and she's kind of on the scout team, kind of trying to get some time. But those kind of kids, I give them all the credit in the world these days. You have a lot of times you have freshmen and sophomores that they're not getting time and they just quit. So to see someone that can come in every day and just enjoys being around, her teammates, does her job, makes everybody around her better, is positive, is a good teammate, is very rare, and it's very special to have her around.
Like you said, the unenviable position of having to guard JC in practice. What have you seen from that dynamic, though? How do they make each other better?
Well, M's been around her since they were young, so she's not afraid to go at her. She's not afraid, go up and block a shot. She's not afraid to body her up a little bit, and that's what we need. There's sometimes we're in practice, and if we're going up against a JV or we're going up against the second team, and you maybe have a sophomore or freshman trying to guard her, they don't want to touch her, they don't want to be physical with her, which doesn't make her any better. So to have somebody that she can bang with every day and really sharpen her skills is, we couldn't ask for anything more from her.
And last but certainly not least, Peyton Clem, one of the seniors that you're going to honor tonight as well. Talk about her and what she brings to this program. Another great athlete that you have that seems like she pops up in every season.
Yeah, she's another one from last year to this year. It's just been tremendous progress. I think she's started off this year kind of our sixth, seventh man. We didn't know where she was going to be. Season's gone on. She just earned more and more time. She's been able to come off the bench in a couple of these big games now and hit threes. Her defense has gotten to the point where we don't miss a beat when she's out there. So just to have for depth, she's another body coming off the bench. Now she's the first one coming off the bench, and to be able to not miss a beat when she's out there, I feel like, it's great for us.
As we talk about senior night, we ask every senior when we interview them how they handle the emotions of senior night and how they handle kind of how they feel on those nights and then go out and play basketball. I'm interested from a coach's perspective, what's it like trying to honor these seniors and trying to kind of roll through what you're feeling and what you're, I'm sure you're a little bit sad that you're winding down your time with them and then obviously having to refocus up and just focus on the basketball game. What's that like from the coach's perspective?
Yeah, definitely. It's not an easy thing just because, as a coach, you want to have that, straight line mindset. We're here to do a job. We have a game to play, but it's obviously not like that. You're there to honor the seniors. You're there to be in the moment to let everybody know the great job that they've done. So it's kind of let them have their time. They're obviously all going to start tonight and then just come out, use that emotion, hopefully for something positive to come out and get you going.
All right, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to preview these next two games that we have this week for you. Obviously, Sebring comes to town for senior night tonight, and then you have a non-conference game with South Range on Saturday night. What do you see from one, Sebring, a league win that you have to go out and you have to take care of business, and then also preview a non-conference matchup with the South Range team, a little bit of an old school rivalry, bringing the Raiders into the jungle?
Yeah, Sebring, they were missing a couple of kids the first time we played them. So I don't think it's going to be something where we can just come in and just go through the motions. They're going to play hard. They're going to, they're getting better as the year goes on. So we're going to have to come out and, reel it in from the senior night festivities and come out and play. Like you said, it's a league game. We can't take any of these league games for granted. And then South Range on Saturday, we're excited to have them back on the schedule. I wish we were playing them probably 4 or 6 weeks ago. It seems like they're playing pretty well now. They're beating some teams. They're playing some other good teams really tough. So it's going to be a game where, if they can impose their will, it's probably going to be a game in the 30s and 40s. We want to come out and run. We want to come out and maybe pressure a little bit. We want to try to get that score up there. But they're playing good. We have some really good non-conference games coming up here.
All right, Coach. Thank you for the time today. Good luck in these next 2 games. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the way. We hope we get to talk to you again real soon as the season keeps going on for you guys.
All right, sounds good, Anthony. Thanks for having me.